Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new.
If you love food, we will show you new types of food for the wealthy. Complete the video for the end until you see the sudden.
1. Saffron. If your rice is luminous yellow, then the chances are it's been sharing a saucepan with saffron. The spice, nicknamed red gold, is the vivid crimson stigma or threads from a crocus flower, and it's used as a coloring agent in food. Why does something so small cost so much? It is, weight for weight, more expensive than gold itself. The reasons are simple. Saffron crocuses only flower for a week or two a year in the autumn. Harvesting the spice is labor-intensive. It's collected and processed by hand. And each small flower has only 3 stigma, which means it takes around 2 football pitches of crocuses to create a kilogram of saffron. That's as many as 300,000 flowers.
2. Caviar. Caviar is the pickled roe of the sturgeon fish and considered one of the world's great delicacies. It's tricky to handle and package, but more significantly, it's incredibly rare. The most famous caviar is from the beluga sturgeon found in the Caspian and the Black Sea. Now critically endangered, very little of its eggs can be sold legally. It takes up to 2 decades for the beluga sturgeon to reach maturity in its adult size. Even rarer is the roe from the albino sturgeon, now almost extinct in its native environment. According to the Guinness World Records, the most expensive caviar recorded is from an aged possibly 100-year-old albino beluga sturgeon whose white caviar sold for about $34,500 per kilogram. My God, that's steep.
3. Oysters. Now considered a luxury, oysters haven't always been the food of the filthy rich. In the early 19th century, oysters were cheap as chips and an important food source for the working classes in coastal communities, a snack so plentiful that they were used to bulk out meat pies. But overfishing and pollution have had a catastrophic effect on oyster stocks, and scarcity has bumped up their value. A dozen in a top London seafood restaurant will set you back around £51. It seems some people are happy to shell out for a slimy mollusk or 2. Of course, you're also buying the oyster's infamous aphrodisiac qualities. Be careful who you dine with.
4. White truffle. Found in the Piedmont region of northern Italy, highly esteemed white truffles will only grow amongst the roots of certain trees, are much scarcer than any other type of truffle, and have a particularly intense flavor and aroma. They can't be cultivated or grown. Although folk have tried for generations to farm the truffles, they can still only be sourced in the wild. It is this unpredictability, along with the lengths people go to locate and harvest them, which results in their hefty price tag. The record sum paid for a single white truffle was by Macau casino owner Stanley Ho in 2007. He splashed out $330,000, £165,000, for one of the largest truffles uncovered in decades, weighing 1.5 kilograms. A pretty extraordinary price for a pungent underground fungus.
5. Wagyu beef. Wagyu simply translates as Japanese beef, and it can come from any of 4 different breeds of Japanese cow. The meat is intensely marbled with fat, which renders down during the cooking process to make the meat tender, moist and melt in the mouth. Some fans describe it as falling apart like a soft piece of fish. The high price point is all down to the rearing process. To qualify for the Wagyu mark, the cows have to be reared and fed according to strict guidelines, with calves being given special feed to guarantee the signature fatty marbling. Kobe beef, one of the most highly prized, fetches up to 500 pounds a kilograms in Japan. That's a lot of money.
6. Kopi low weight coffee. Okay, so technically it's a drink. but with bags of copy coffee selling for up to $700 per kilograms, it's certainly worthy of its place on this list. Copy Low Wake, or civet coffee, is made from coffee beans eaten, partly digested and then defecated by the Asian palm civet or civet cat. Doesn't sound all that appetizing. Some believe that the part digestion and fermentation caused by the animal's stomach acid enhances the flavor of the coffee, with other critics in agreement that it's simply a gimmick resulting in a truly terrible espresso. Sadly, there are growing numbers of intensive civet farms, where animals are confined to cages much like battery hens, and force-fed. It's worth doing your research before buying.
7. Foie gras. Foie gras is a pricey pâté made from duck or goose liver that has been fattened to up to 10 times its normal size. The flavor is rich, buttery and delicate, and the product expensive, but the birds pay a higher price than we ever will. The geese and ducks are force-fed corn through feeding tubes. It's a practice dating back to as early as 2500 BC, when the ancient Egyptians learned that many birds could be fattened through forced overfeeding. These days many countries have laws against the practice and the production, import or sale of foie gras.
8. World's most expensive taco. Some people come to Mexico for the amazing and inexpensive street food, and some come for the world's most expensive taco at the Grand Velas Las Cabos, costing $25,000. The taco contains langoustine, Kobe beef, Almas beluga caviar, and black truffle brie cheese. Even the salsa is extreme, made with dried Morito chili peppers, Lee .925 ultra premium añejo tequila, and civet coffee. Of course, you can't pair a $25,000 taco with a Corona, so the restaurant helpfully offers a pairing of a white gold and platinum bottle of premium tequila to go with it, for a mere $150,000 extra.
Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new